of the 2.5 million employees in the top 10, possibly 1.7, 1.8 are Indian. So Indians dominate software services. And we hired about 250,000, 300,000 software engineers every year. So we have a very large pool of talent. We have more than about 3,000 engineering colleges. We graduate 900,000 engineers, out of which 200,000 are very, very good. 200,000 can be trained, and the rest will go into other industries. So we have the human capital, we have the economy, and we have the market. Then India has got great technology. You'll be surprised that using technology, 425 million people in the bottom of the pyramid, open bank accounts. They got DBT, government transfers money to them at the blink of an eyelid. And we have 1.25 billion people on what is called Aadhaar. Aadhaar is the largest identity software system in the world. So we can all get a number if you go to Aadhaar and register. And using the number, we can transfer money from one account to another account on the mobile, even feature phones, in about 30 seconds without any cost across India. More than 140 banks are part of this entire system. And we had about 2.2 billion transactions or money transfers the mobile last year. So we have an enormous amount of bank accounts open. We have Aadhaar, which is very, very big. And we have UPI, the payment transfer system all across India, which works very efficiently. So money transfers can be easily done. And we have something called the India Stack. And the India Stack is a great piece of software whereby we have Aadhaar, we have UPI for payment, we have eKYC, we have a digital store, we have data stores for everybody. It's almost free of cost. And we also have our ability to transact on the stock exchange. Now, we have a stock exchange which has the second largest derivative program in the world, possibly the largest traded derivative market, which is electronic T+2. We want to go to T+1, but industry is protesting is too fast. So we have a fantastic stock market, which is fully electronic. We have a banking system, which is fully electronic. We have a money transfer system, which is fully electronic. And for a large country with 1.38 billion people, that is something. We have more than about 950 mobile connections, 1.2 billion mobile connections, 950 unique phones in this country. We buy more than 150 million smartphones. India is the second largest producer of mobile phones in the world and now becoming a very large exporter because of government's good scheme in the called the PLI. So we have a very large mobile industry. The average data consumption in the country is about 15 GB per month. We can get unlimited data for $1.50 a month on a mobile because of very cheap data services, and we can make phone calls free across India. So the digital economy in this country is very, very big. It's expected to be $1 trillion by 2025. But this $1 trillion in monetary value will be maybe $3 to $4 trillion in the US because, the Indian rupee is undervalued. In terms of PPP, our GDP today is about $12 trillion. The PPP multiple is around 4 because PPP is an indication of how to compare global economies. India's economy is not as small as $3 trillion seems. $3 trillion is a lot of money, but even then, compared to China, we are smaller. Compared to the United States at 21 trillion, we are smaller. But we are growing and will be very large in this decade. And then in the digital ecosystem, we have many other services provided by the government. We got something called Ayushman Bharat, which will be the largest insurance program in the world when completed. 500 million people will get a free insurance, medical insurance on this program. Already about 15 million people have enjoyed the benefits for the last 2 years. We have a very large land registration system, which is going electronic. So across India, all government services are going electronic, including what is called direct benefit transfer, whereby government has transferred close to $200 billion for the last 7 years to the accounts of people in the bottom of the pyramid. So that is the economy, which very large, growing economy with a very large human capital, a large export sector for software, a large digital economy where startups are flourishing. Now, if you look at startups, what do startups require to do well and what should entrepreneurs do? It's very good to talk about others, but I'm sure you're interested in being entrepreneurs. Now, as far as entrepreneurs are concerned, what are the characteristics of good entrepreneurs? Well, a good entrepreneur, either tech or otherwise, is a problem solver. He identifies a problem, he or she identifies a problem, they look at the problem and come with a solution. A tech entrepreneur will come with a tech solution, and the tech solution will be very good. So you should be a problem solver. Second, you should be a team member. I'm all for teams in startups, not individuals. Individuals do well, but you require a team because the risk is too much. And you should have a team which is mutually complementary and collectively, unique, in the sense that you must have all the skills together in the team, but each one should be unique. So every startup, in my opinion, should have a visionary, a chief founder, should have a hacker who's a techie, and should have a hustler who's a marketing person. Because whether you are in B2B or B2C, you have to market. And marketing is a very, very critical skills. In India, we have a lot of tech skills, but marketing skills are in short supply because people love technology, especially young people in this country. But when it comes to marketing, they need to invest more. So you need to build a team. And the third, you need to create a great product. And the product has to be based on what consumers want or what business wants. There's no point having a great product which you love very much, which is very clunky, which is difficult. You must understand that the users of technology are not as brilliant as you. You could be brilliant, you could be a great techie, but the users are ordinary people like me who just want to use the technology, get what they want, and that is it. What is behind? Well, we like to know, but we're not particularly interested because we want to be users of the technology. So you got to create a product which is what users want. Users find it convenient. Look at Ola, Uber in the taxi business, right? In 3 clicks, you get what you want. And behind the 3 clicks, enormous amount of technology. Look at the Tesla car. It's a beautiful piece of engineering. It's software on 4 wheels. And you don't have to bother about so much. The car takes care of so much, and you can drive very, very easily. So today, consumers across the board want to be users and not techies. So let's make it easy to come along. I won't tell you a secret. Even though I was the CFO of Infosys from 1994 till 2006, and where in the board member of the company till 2011, I never carried a laptop. I didn't like a laptop. I had a desktop, and I had all the data in my mind, in my head, and I could talk to people. And as the CFO, I could work very well. But when I got my iPad, I loved my iPad. Why is that? Because an iPad, you just click, the screen is there, and you navigate. You do so many things, right? You can download apps. You can do so many things. It's such a beautiful piece of engineering and very, very user-friendly. If you have a laptop, you got to log on. You got to do so many things. The screen will come on later. And, it weighs a lot. I'm not against a laptop. I'm just telling you, a dumb user like me, how much enjoys having a great product which is suited to meet my needs. And all users mostly are that. I'm not saying they're dumb, but users want to use your software. So you got to make it very user-friendly, and maybe see the number of clicks and the number of times that is touched before they get what they want. So you need to have a great product. Then you got to market. You got to sell, and I think is very important that you're able to sell. And to sell, it does not mean that you give financial incentives to people like cashback and etc. Cashback can give you a lot of people coming on because of the cashback. My second son, when he was very young, used to tell me proudly in college how he got so much of money from cashback, and the cashback paid for his education. So he used to tell me he didn't need any pocket money because he used to make a lot of money through cashbacks. So young people are not loyal when it comes to the cashback economy. They will use all the apps which give more cashback, and the one that gives more cashback is what they're going to use. They don't create a loyal clientele. To create a loyal clientele, if you're B2C, you need to have great technology, ease of use, and make sure users get what they want. And in B2B too, you got to make sure that the people who use the software get what they want with ease and get all the information. So the design of the software has to be seen. Look at Apple. It succeeds because of design. It's such a great product. So I think all great products and all great services have great design. And you got to market them. And marketing is an art that you have to learn, not low capital. And also then you must make sure that you know how to handle investors. You must remember, if you're a startup entrepreneur, very few put their own money. They raise money through seed, they raise money through angels, through small fund, to big funds, to growth funds, etc. Maybe they go for a listing finally. And when you deal with investors, you got to be very, very careful. You must know that you're dealing with somebody's money. You are a trustee acting for others. You can't misuse the money or ill-use the money or use the money for luxuries for yourself or pay yourself a great salary. Because, when you do a valuation, you are essentially saying, I created value, maybe in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and this is my value. And you come in at that higher valuation. So they're giving you money. And they have a first right on the exits and the first right on the money that you get when you sell or whatever it is. So you must learn to respect capital. You must learn to trust them and make sure that they're engaged at all times. That means investor communication is important. Every month, send them a short one-page letter telling what happened without them asking for information. Every quarter, send them a financial statement. Every quarter, have a call with investors. And whether you want capital or not, keep in touch with all your investors all the time. They should know what is happening. Because that's your responsibility as founders. And you know that you're going to raise capital maybe 1 year, 2 years down the line. You identify funds and investors whom you want on the cap table, and then make sure that you go to them once a quarter, send them a one-pager, give them information, keep in touch with them, and create a very broad number of people who know you. So when you go to them for actually raising capital, you are not new to them. They have seen you, they read what you wrote, and they're interested. They may be following you, and they have an interest. And sometimes they will come and say, hey, are you raising capital? I want to invest in you, and that'll be good for you. Because investment is an act of faith. And you must remember that. I've seen so many founders, after they get the initial money, they don't complete the documentation, they don't do compliance, they don't send any reports, they just wait. And when you ask them for report, they say, we're very busy, we're doing products, all rubbish. Because you must send out reports, you have a responsibility, you got to do it. And when you want capital, they'll all cold shoulder you. Your best supporters, the people who already invested in you, because they are invested in you, that trusted you. And you got to make sure that this is there properly. So I think it's extremely important for you to understand the role of the investor and keep in touch. And then you need to have manage finances well. You need to keep cash in the balance sheet to meet at least 1 year's expenditure. You got to be liquid. You got to reduce your fixed costs. You got to have variable costs. You must have very productive people, and you must do a lot of things to make sure that you develop a viable model. And for a very important reason, you may find it easy to raise capital, but remember, at the end of the day, when you build a good company, you got to have a big stake. What is the point of creating a good company with very good value where you have a small stake? Maybe, you create a unicorn many times over and you have a small stake. It may seem like a lot of money, but remember, you must not dilute too much as you grow, because you dilute too much, sometimes you become an employee. You are an entrepreneur. You must remain an entrepreneur. You must get the respect of investors, and all investors must feel that your startup will do well because you are in charge. And for that purpose, you must be frugal in capital. You must respect capital, raise capital at the right time. And please remember, you get your rewards for a period of time. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. Yeah, some people may create a unicorn in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years for various reasons. Don't believe that you're God's own creation. The market is very competitive. The market respects nobody. Everybody is there competing for the same thing. Everybody is a hero at one point of time. Then over a period of time, you could become a zero. So be humble. Believe in what you can do and how you can serve the customers. Believe in what you can achieve and in your team members. And if you think you're the greatest entrepreneur, you become arrogant, it's not going to work for you. Because remember, investors in the market have many people to invest in. You are one of them. You're just one among hundreds of people that are available. You're not God's own creature. So you got to be humble. Humility is a very good exercise. Respect for investors, respect for people, a very good exercise. And at the end of it, for all startup entrepreneurs, you have to know your own strengths and your own limitations. Yes, you have strong ideas. You can create a team. You're excited by technology. You can do many things. But at the end of the day, this is a long haul game. It's a 7-year, 10-year, 12-year, 15-year game. And when you come to a point when you are led from the front, you've been a leader, maybe you take a back seat. Maybe you get people better than you to take over and run the business. And maybe you step back like Bill Gates did rather late in the day, like the founders of Google did rather late in the day. So you get somebody else to run the business who could be much better. Because remember, you grow the business, you start the business, you come to a certain size, everything changes. When you grow up to a size, whatever the size is, you need processes, you need repeatability, you need assurances to customers, you need quality control, all the things big companies do. You can't escape that. You can't be a startup forever. You can be a startup forever in terms of your attitude and mental makeup, that is fine, because you can be innovative, you can do everything else. But you must get people who know how to manage larger enterprises to work. And that's why when you hire people who are better than you. If you hire people who are not as good as you, you're making a mistake, because you should have the best people working for you. And you must reward them by ESOP. Reward them by creating a culture where everybody feels wanted. Reward them by creating an enterprise where people feel proud, where they have space to grow. So I think it's extremely important for you to be the leader. And as a leader, you have to be secure. You have to be confident. You got to have positive body language. And you must be polite, treat people well. The best of people want respect. They want to be treated well. It's not money. You can't buy people. You can buy people for a while, but they'll not stay with you. The moment they get a better job, they'll go. Or even a job which treats them very well, they'll go. So respect your teammates, make them feel like they're part of your family, involve them in decision making, have people better than you, at the right time, hand over, remain in your firm. And remember, in every business is a business where you invest, you grow the business, and maybe you sell it off at the right time and you go. Your life is your own. Your life is your own. Your life cannot be a company. Your life can be a company for a while. After that, your life is very separate. Your life is very different. And if you don't hand over, good people will not join you. You remain at the top too long, good people will not join you, because the company has to go on. So all great entrepreneurs, from a startup founder, they become a person who manages the enterprise with money from outside. Then they get into governance and they get other people to manage. And then they leave the enterprise and they become investors. Ultimately, they sell and they do whatever else they want and do something else. That's been the journey of all great entrepreneurs of the world. So startup entrepreneurs, dream big, work extremely hard, collect a team, develop leadership skills, and do well. I just want to thank you all for inviting me to speak and say what a pleasure it's been to speak to all of you. I wish you all the best. I do hope all of you succeed, because a few years from now, you'll look back upon a journey of startup entrepreneurs and you must stand up and say, yeah, I did good things in my life. I enjoyed it and I'm very happy where I am and I've achieved whatever I wanted to achieve. And maybe I've done much more than what I thought I expected to achieve. And that'll be great news, because the startup is like a journey. It's a very exciting experience. It is exhilarating, fills you with energy, fills you with everything else. I work with a lot of startup founders and I enjoy it. I talk to maybe 30, 40 companies every 2 months and I enjoy it. As a family, we invested in many, many funds. We got more than 15 funds in Arian Capital. We got maybe 300 startups invested through them. We have created the ecosystem. I work on policy and it's a very exciting field. So I wish you all the best and may the force be with you. Thank you very much.